Hola from El Español. Welcome to the RaceKraft Simulations V8 Vets Split 4 basement coming to you this evening for round 7 from the one and only Motorland Aragon in beautiful central Spain. A very interesting modern FIA Classified 1 circuit, going to be very challenging for the boys. With me in the chat tonight, I've got Daniel Schaefer, Mark Dial and Russell U'Ren. How are we, boys?
Yeah, good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Let's jump in and have a quick look at the track, of course. We start on the start-finish straight where we head into a 90-degree left-hander in turn 1, where we then sweep through turns 2 and 3, up the hill, sweeping through 4, and then into the hard braking turn 5, back down to second gear, where we then continue the climb up the hill through turns 6, and then another 90-degree right-hand turn at 7, where then we come down into these turn 8, turn 9, the Saccarochas complex. I think everyone talking this week has called it the corkscrew, where we come down through a steep descent through 8 and 9, and then we sweep around through the Marc Marquez corner through turn 10, and then into turn 11, which is not really much of a turn, and then hard on the brakes into turn 12, where we go through the other dubbed bus stop complex through 13, and then we come back out again at 14 and 15 with a 90-degree turn, down the big long straight through turns 16, 17, also known as 16 in the track map that we provided, and that is a fast-flowing, very steep, long corner and 2 apexes on it, but the boys pretty well much doing that in 3rd and 4th gear and then back down the short start finish straight. I'd have to say, guys, it's a great little circuit, but I think it's got some tricky little challenges in it in terms of overtaking and in terms of tyre wear. How do you boys find it?
I did a bit of practice during the week, and it certainly took some getting used to. Yeah, it was easy to overdrive, but we got there in the end.
And of course, first time here for the V8 Vets, making it even more interesting because it's not really a track where a lot of the guys that turn up on Thursday and that's all they do. It's not an easy track for them to just plug and play, as we all know. So moving along, we'll have a quick look at the championship points going into this round. So this is with one drop calculated. Russell U'Ren on 871 has a 4-point lead for Matty Munday. Glen Boyce a further 17 points behind. Van Ree in 4th, a further 15 points behind. Shane Patterson in 5th, a further 9 points behind. That rounds out the top 5. Dave Holly sitting back 5 points. Phil Whiting's a further point back from Holly. And then Sanford is 8 points back from Whiting. Matty Beale in 9th on 805 is 7 points behind. And Neil Waters rounds out the top 10 on 795. And he's 10 points behind his teammate Matt Beale. So competition well and truly starting to hotten up as we get into the back half of the season. Round 7 is what we're racing this one. That is the wrong number up top. I don't believe I haven't given that away, but we'll sort that out in a minute when we get back. And yeah, so definitely going to be very interesting to have a look at the grid and see how the championship will be affected by that this evening. So we'll bring the grid up now and have a look at that. And we get rid of the ticker tape. Long way to go still, Rick. Long way to go. That's all I'll say after last night. Russell is on pole with a 151.156, a cracking time. 7 tenths ahead of Glen Boyce. So the championship definitely hotting up at the front end there. And then in the second row, Locked On Lads Racing is Peter Wilkinson sitting in 3rd. Matty Munday from Fishy Motorsports lines up on the second row with him in 4th. Shane Patterson from Nova Sim Sports on the 3rd row with Ross Watson from Misfits Racing. On the 4th row, we see Daniel Schaefer from Omen Racing lining up alongside Michael Mills from Mills Motorsport. And then we roll on to the 5th row with Darren Friend from Old Mates and Sons, and he lines up alongside Player One Sim Racing's Jeff Sanford. On the 6th row, Brad Hayes from Apex Esports League lines up alongside Phil Whiting from Passion Sim Racing. And then over the page, we go to the 7th row where we have Gunther von Nordschleife from WK&P Sim Sports. And he lines up alongside the hard charger Sean Slater from Henry James Racing. On the 8th row is Player One Sim Sports Tim Hall lining up alongside his teammate David Holly. And then on the 9th row, Glenn Wilbro from Omen Racing lining up alongside Vaughan Robinson. And then on the 10th row, Simon Pitt, the privateer, lines up alongside Jason Thomas from Apex Esports League. And then on the 11th row, Rob Baxter from Coast to Coast lines up alongside the hard-boiled David Baldock from WK&P in 11th. On the 12th row, we've got Phil Marsh from PJM Racing lining up alongside John Van Ree from WK&P. And then over the page, we go to the next row where we've got Matty Beale from Player One lining up alongside the Tuncurry terrorist Brad Hinsby. And then we have Greg Sholton, my favourite Dutchman from Mustang, North Queensland, lining up alongside Southern Cross Racing's Steve Luckhurst. Anita Buckland back in 29th, Molbates and Sons lines up alongside Adam St. John from Full Bore Racing. Darren Vermey from 1MLT in 31st lines up alongside David Logsdale from AJR. And then our chief race controller was Chris Branchard. Lucas Burt was our safety car driver. Tim Vermey didn't set a time, and John Lee didn't set a time either on the grid. So that is our full grid, I believe. And yeah, Lucas Neal was our other race controller. So we basically had 34 cars on the grid. So it's a fair effort still for this late in the season. And I think we're in for a cracker race, boys.
Looks like that. Exciting.
Yeah.
And put the picture up when you red jumper. Yeah, good on your Bulldog. Yeah. And continuing on, this one I think will be an absolute ripper. Looking forward to this. It's going to see how people adapt to a new track. It's never easy, and 40 laps around this place. Only 200k race. Luckily, we probably didn't go much longer because of the fact that, yes, fatigue did come in as well towards the end. So I think it'll be an interesting one for everyone to keep an eye on. So any thoughts, boys, before we light the wick on this?
No, just I'm with Bulldog, mate. I just want to see you in that red jumper. and your girlfriend that he sent me the picture of.
Yeah, nice work, Mr. Bulldog. Continuing on. And he's just upset that he missed out on being selected as Hairy Spice, that's all. Anyway, let's keep going. Locked on, lads, saying what can go wrong. Exactly what can go wrong or what can go right. That will be the aim of this race. And I think we might light a wick on this one as we will get this one started. I've got some pretty quick work to do here. And I think everything is up and running at my end. So we'll light the wick on this and we'll get started. Let's see what happens. A couple of cars midfield have stalled, slow starts. Back end of the group's bunching up a fair bit. Pato protecting the inside for fourth. He gets tap. That's put Pato out. As we move on to Boyce and Munday. So that's another one and another hit there from, I think, Wilco. So that's going to have a major championship implications as they shuffle down. Then we look a bit further back. There are more cars parked left, right and centre. So I think there was a bit of a knock-on effect with the starting process. But U'Ren, as I go back to the real camera, U'Ren gets off to a cracking start. So looking quite good here, Russ. You'd be pretty happy about that. Already 2.7 seconds ahead with second and third and fourth knocking themselves out.
No, I'm always pretty nervous at the start, but I was watching the rearview mirror and could see that there was a bit of carnage, so I thought I'd just try and get a couple of good laps in.
That's fair enough. As Wilbo involved in a little bit of action there as well. That's pushed him back down the order where he was. He was up a few before that. But we come back to the front. You're definitely cleared out there as you head down the back straightaway. Daniel sitting in second. What were you thinking at this stage?
Well, I made a mistake going into one, and it's like the seas parted. I'm happy I made the mistake, to be honest, because I would have been in the melee. And next thing I know, I got real nervous because I was in second, and I just keep thinking every week I overdrive the first lap and lock the fronts and do all silly stuff. So I just tried to be patient and settle in a bit.
All right, smart move. Smart move as we might go a bit down this front straight away. Darren having a bit of a look.
I was definitely keeping my eye on Friendly because I'd noticed he'd been fast all week in the practice sessions. So I was trying to get a bit of a gap because he was definitely fast all week.
And another spin. It's up a bit further up. I think the race started to settle down a little bit after that. Plenty of battles up and down the field. This is a great group here with Hayes, Mills, Gunter and Sanford. All battling pretty hard in this group. Yeah, I feel for you, Boise, don't worry. And Pato as well. Feel for him. Didn't have a good lap one, turn one. Munday recovering quite well though. He's got himself back into fourth.
It's a pretty interesting track on the way that people approach dots of the lines, I found, in the race.
Yeah, definitely very interesting.
Yeah, like if you look at that back left-right chicane, how people would make speed there. Like when I was racing Friendly for that first sort of 7 or 8 laps, he was super fast there, but then I could sort of drive off in different places, and for a while I thought I was the hold-up, and then I could settle into a bit of rhythm. So I made a mistake.
It was a good circuit in the sense seeing Dave Worrell to settle in, go about his business. Even during the week, he was dropping little coaching nuggets here, left, right, and centre. A few eggs laid out for everybody to follow. Sort of broke the track down really well, didn't he, Russ?
Yeah, he did. Some real eggs of wisdom, wasn't there?
He's doing well here, and oh no, Gunter. That was hard. That was interesting on that one. Tough corner.
That was one of his tips, wasn't it? If they're in your way, just punch them out the way.
First tap's a warning, second tap, you're off. Live by the rule, die by the rule. Of course, not with us this evening. Old Gunter, he's up in wine country. Out in the bush, doing a bit of egg hunting, I believe.
Didn't know there was ostriches up that way.
Oh, they farm them everywhere. And Wilbo having a bit of a crack on Wilco. Oh, don't know.
You don't want to know.
Don't want to know.
Green stuff really looks good, doesn't it?
A few guys moving up through the field. Boise's got himself forward a little bit from being last. We'll keep an eye on his progress as we cluck along this evening. He's in down 23 spots. Pato still in front of him. He's down 18 spots. So this is massive championship ramifications. for these guys. They've got to fight their way back from there. Greg Sholton locking the tyres up there, chasing down Bulldog. The Bulldog's up 6 spots.
You really can't afford to have a really bad race now.
Nah. There's a few guys in that situation. Self included, with missing Algarve. Boise trying to get a move done here with Marshy and Burmay. That's off to these boys back here. They all bloody fought pretty hard for their spot. I'll admit that much. They didn't make it easy. Nor would I expect them to.
It was hard to pass too. That's what I found. Like a good run.
Yeah, you had to plan it really well.
Yeah, last week I found it was easy to get runs and guys, you know.
Some say a little too hard. I agree, Glenn. Agree with you there, mate, wholeheartedly. As Glenn shows his nose after I showed my nose. Here we go, show your nose. And then, yeah, that's kind of what you were looking for. Then to make that little mistake. Tim going a little bit wide there allows you to pick up one more. Vaughan Robinson running in 19th. Under a bit of pressure from Luckhurst. Oh, and gets a little loose there. Burmay side by side with Boyce. And we all checked up here. There we go. Someone else having a run on, boys. I was working on a theory of Boise softening them up and letting me through at this stage. To stay with Boise, he'll part the waters. Are we lap 6? And Gunter on the curb. He hit the nodule and Wilco. Another victim. That one or two little curbs is bit hard around this place.
The first one is a dangerous one.
As Gunter just found out. As he jumped back up here, U'Ren's cleared out to a 6.5 second lead, but the battle is on here with Schaefer, Friend and Munday.
Yeah, it's at this point that I conceded that I was a roadblock, but they couldn't get around me.
You just dig your heels in.
No, I messed it up the next lap, I think. Yeah, this section here, every time he friended out right on my bum coming around here. Except this time.
No, he was faster there. I remember after the safety car restart, I could get a little gap on him, and then through that section he'd be right on the arse. I'd be like, geez, what am I doing wrong here?
Yeah, I actually learned nothing because he just seemed to be every time he'd just come right at me like take 2 car lengths. I didn't really get to see where you went, Russell. I was just like, he's gone.
Here we go. Is going to see some player one action? No. Sanford slides through on Hall. There's my friend Mr. Boyce. We'll go in the lane. Boycey still rounding up some traffic. Still side by side. They're having a real cracky, these boys. Boycey having a look. Gets up alongside. A little bit of side-by-side action. Leaves plenty of room. Doesn't do the Max Verstappen line. And a little bit of a lock-up. Puts him into the side. Gets him spinning. Oh, Boycey. A little bit of hard luck there, mate, but worth the crack. Lap 8. Where are we? Lap 8. Shelton, where's Greg? There's Sanford battling his way through here. Getting himself past Shelton. And Gunter coming into the clutches. You have to be so careful looking after your tyres around here. And Greg just stops before the wall. So plenty of room to get a car around. Gets himself going again. And Matty Munday has got himself up into P2 now. A little trip over there, Daniel, that we just missed.
Yeah, I'm glad you panned away at exactly the right time to us have a little bit of humiliation. Yeah, I'm having a little controller issue, and that I've found out what's going on. But my partner in crime, Wilbo, he's asked me to change a few things, but I just keep dealing with it.
It's one of those things you're constantly always doing. Upgrading.
Got the old G92 wheel, and it's got developed a shifting problem up and down. So it's been predominantly up, so I usually skip 2 gears going up, just deal with it. But as of late, it's starting to do it on the way down. So if I go from third to second, every now and then it'll grab first. And that's what happened. I've actually got better at.
That's not ideal, mate. Time to buy a new wheel, I think.
Yeah, that's what Wilbo kept telling me.
You're going to be competitive in this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, two times it happened in the race, and 2 times the cars went past me. I was just glad I didn't really wreck anybody, which is the main thing.
Hey, friendy, having a little bit of a look here, giving Munday the hurry up.
This is where he's strong right here every time.
So this pack all the way back to Brad Hayes. So this whole group, like Watson looking pretty strong here. He's keeping the pressure on yourself, Daniel. Friendy's moved out.
Yeah, there was some good. Probably was more, I would say, through the whole race. After these two got in front of me, I was probably more on line with Ross and Brad and their speed. And I actually managed to stay in front of them for quite some time.
My friend's not letting Munday walk away with it either.
No, he was talking well, especially for this section.
Pressure still having a bit of a look. You're back in the battle again now. You've pulled away from the guys behind you that little bit. Hayes running into the lane. So they're starting to see some early stops. Probably not a bad move from Hayes. The undercut being a quick lane probably pays off a little bit here.
Good flowing track.
Yeah, I love the undulation change. It sort of creeps uphill and then, heading back down without sort of being over the top.
I think too, like, for me and Glenn, we were, how we're typically driving, and then these last two tracks we've never been to, sort of picking up different ways of brake market and bits and pieces. Like, it's a bit like there's lots of blind. You can't see your apex until you get right there.
Yeah. And a lot of ability to run off a little bit as well, so they use the whole surface.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I did it. I did a few laps earlier in the week, and then I watched Madison's tutorial of it, and just saw how much of the how much the track he was using and getting over the curb. So I started doing that, and certainly helped at times.
You get bored when you're that far out in front of us?
He gets nervous.
It's like money, mate. You can never have enough. It doesn't matter how much the lead is. You're like, it's just. I try to just focus on what I'm doing. A lot of the time, the boys just start making me laugh, calm me down with jokes about eggs and blow-up dolls and whatever it is. No, it's good for me. I think if I didn't have those guys in my year, it'd be a lot harder for me, to be honest.
Yeah, because I think keeping your concentration.
Yeah, but sometimes you concentrate too much. Like you start overthinking it.
So Mills, Sanford, and Gunter into the lane. So starting to see some of these guys going in for that earlier stop, looking for the undercut.
I can tell you there was a fair bit of concentration going on inside that green car last night.
He's still might be in the top 10.
He was pretty excited about it too. I know, because I talk and he doesn't talk back. It's like concentrating.
Yeah, there's definitely times to concentrate. Like I'll mute everything when I do a qualifying lap just so I can focus on that.
Hey, Russell in the lane, lap 13. They're pretty much on par to the split strategy. Followed by U'Ren, Friend, Schaefer and Watson. So this will get interesting now, seeing how much fuel people have put in. As we see JT continue on.
Yeah, I've got a bit to learn here. I played follow the leader today because the last couple of weeks have made the balls up. Pretty good times, man.
Well, JT's probably done the right thing here. He's going to sneak a point out of the field. Get one of the bonus points. Doesn't hurt. Bulldog, a further 8 seconds back. U'Ren back out on track in 11th already. Bulldog rather excited that he's in front of U'Ren at this stage.
And that's the highest you'll ever see Dave Bulldog.
He's consistent. I reckon he's got the least incident points of the whole league, isn't he?
Yeah. He did get upset when he got one last night. So I was quickly going to add to my list.
The only way you can get a 0x around here would be to drive slow, wouldn't it? Right up Dave's alley.
Now. Of course, we are lap 13. So Bulldog will peel off into the lane about now, I reckon. In he comes. JT's in there as well. So we have a new, or resume back to our existing race leader after the first round of stops. So U'Ren back out in front. Bulldog all excited because he just hit an apex.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised to actually see you can actually spell it. That's another shock. We love you, Dave.
Where's Wilco? Where's my man Wilco? He should be back out here somewhere. Wilco coming down the back straight away. So he's been caught up in a few things, down 14 seconds. Wilco, of course, stopped for 32. Just to put the rest of the players in action. U'Ren stopped for 30. Followed by Munday for 28 seconds. Friend was 28 seconds. Sheriff was 30 seconds. Ross Watson, 38 seconds. Brad Haynes, 39 seconds. So those guys just pretty much must have filled it right up. So
car detailed as well.
Yeah. Oh, hang on to it, Wilco. Hang on to the Wilco.
Not locked on.
Not locked on at all. Out in the weeds. Mr. Parents?
Someone hasn't got his ears on yet.
Let's try.
Yeah, he's trying.
There we go. I've just been sent an urgent message from one of our senior members of the league. He didn't realise that Motegi East is going night race, so he was literally coming out of the pits and his lights were flashing, and all of a sudden he was in the wall. Turns out he had an epileptic fit. He's never had one before in his life. He's gone to his doctor at the moment. And they're looking for answers, and it turns out that his age, masturbating while driving, blood pressure up there, flashing lights equals an epileptic fit. So he just wants it to be known. For all the other wankers in the league to be careful.
So I'm guessing you're talking about David Knight here.
no, the warden. That was Mark Peck.
That's a good thing I'm on night shift and missing the races. I wouldn't even make it out of the pit.
That's cold.
What about for our last week? Just about good
No time for Scott to come in.
It is. How are you, Mr. Rankin?
Yeah, look, I'm going to tell you that I'm missing my own bed. I'm missing V8 Vets. I haven't found anywhere that serves up a Vindaloo quite like you guys do on a Thursday night.
Well, we did a good job of it this week, don't worry. Split 4, sorry. We had...
And the biggest thing that I've missed is getting an opportunity to watch Wilco wobble around the track.
Wilco's done well. And Pecky's doctor just wanted to re-highlight to me that it only applies to wankers.
Well, unfortunately, there's 150 of us, isn't there?
Except Anita, apparently, in the comment. That leaves me out. That's the best comment of the
Mate, the women drivers in the league are in a little bit of a better position just because the fact that they've got access to the cigarette lighter to plug things in.
There now. Anita driving well at the moment. She's bloody hard to pass last night. There's Jeff.
She's been getting better too. I actually got my first opportunity to drive with Anita a couple of weeks ago.
She's quick.
Actually, it was more than last week.
Oh, I think I missed that one with JT. Oh. Move on.
They put cigarette lighters in cars of this era? Yeah.
Nah, it's just USB plugs now.
Yeah, that's right. USB 1 or 2, I'll still get you there.
They identify as cigarette lighters, though.
This is good.
Just...
You don't need a cigarette lighter if you pinch your brakes enough. The 50-cent pieces will do the job.
Millsy sitting in 7th. He's doing all right. Being chased by Holly and Sanford. Speaking of Anita, she's just in a bit of a battle with Wilco at the moment. A big shout out to Healy. Hey, Mr. Healy, how are you, Craig? A few boys.
A good run with Heels last night for a little while.
Well, player one beside player one. We're going to get to see some action here. Maybe, maybe not. Just teasing us.
Has Jeff come off his high from winning last week?
I think sitting back in 8th at this stage, I'd probably say yes.
I'm surprised that this racing move has worked out all well and good. If you guys don't recall, I fondly recall having fights over who gets to be player one.
New truck, 24. I know. There you go. He knows still had cigarette lighters. That's Asian, though. And here we go.
And if you've ever seen the Thailand Super Series, you'll know they don't even need the cigarettes. The diesel truck races that they have over there, you cannot see. They fill grids of 40 cars. The last cars that cross the start-finish line on lap one can't see a thing.
You can imagine that. Here we go.
Now, John, answer me this, mate. Which liar wrote out the magazine shots for last week?
Which liar?
Yeah, because I seem to recall that there was a Van Ree written on a podium somewhere.
See what we've got to put up with.
Did you end up with the leftovers from the brewery or something at the end of the year and you bribed all the race control?
No, I could have had P2, but someone in the team said multi-21.
That was the least you could do after you told me to pit, not to pit on the safety car.
Yeah. Well, I got scared because I got Seashore, got Scholar funds from the week before. So I didn't know what to do.
It's because he did the lap one thing.
Yeah, well, I was
Leader goes a little wide there. It's a pass.
Now I am seeing things. John Van Ree overtaking cars.
It happens occasionally without anyone getting hurt. I haven't seen Phil Whiting for a while. He's under a bit of pressure from Sean Slater. That's the battle for 10th. Where's David again? Down here. Just to recap the race at the moment, Russell U'Ren is 16 seconds ahead of Matty Munday, and then we bounce back to a further 2 seconds back to Darren Friend, 5 seconds back to Schaefer, Watson 6 seconds back, Hayes 1.2, Mills 4, Sanford 1.5, Holly 2.5, and then 2.9 back to this battle. So top 10 starting to spread themselves out a bit here. They fill a few battles in the group.
I feel better that Matty couldn't hang on to Russell either.
Yeah, I think Russ has got in a groove at this stage.
Cool.
Yeah, I was just trying to knock off the laps at this stage.
Can I
And,
what sort of laptop?
And that is an on-track car with a blown motor. I want to get it going, and it ain't going anywhere.
Right there, the hung rods out of it.
So at about this stage, Russell wasn't a happy camper.
Yeah. There might have been a few F words and something about a safety car. Yeah, calm down, have a drink, relax.
I was actually happy to stop, to be honest.
Just going to make it a long stint home. And there's the call. Safety car time. So a few went in early here. Patterson, Gunter, Boyce, Wilkinson.
I don't know where I was going there. For wide line.
Just waiting now for our safety car to roll out. Being driven by Mr. Lucas Burt this evening. And everyone's pretty much peeling into the lane.
Rick Vigors went bye-bye 16 seconds. Yeah, tell me about it. My thoughts exactly.
Had to explain to him, Rick, that it wasn't money. It comes out and safety car on track. Of course, the magnificent RaceKraft Simulations McLaren.
Are we sticking with the McLaren next season? Sorry.
Well, we are. You guys go.
If they win themselves the constructors title, I think they're going to be too costly.
They won't get enough wind tunnel time, apparently. Apparently, it's all about wind tunnel time for the 26 car. So we have U'Ren back out from his second stop, leading Darren Friend, Matty Munday, Brad Hayes, Ross Watson, Daniel Schaefer, all the way back to sixth now. So you've shuffled down a bit, Daniel.
Yeah, they got me on the pit stop. I've seen that on their first pit stop. They fueled a lot longer.
Put it in perspective, Watson took 8 seconds less fuel than yourself. Monday took 4 seconds more. Hayes took 10 seconds, took less. So yeah, it's that whole balancing act of when you long fill and don't long fill.
Was I less or more than Matty in the second one?
You were less.
Yeah.
You were 17.9. Matty was 22.1 on the box.
70 litres in the first stop. As advised by the team captain, of course.
Yeah. Do you guys use the chief to tell you, or do you sort of figure it out?
Well, basically, you've got to analyse the race situation. So basically, you know, a short race, you split the race up into thirds. Depending on the fuel quantity, you might go a little bit longer on that first one, or you might know if the tyres feel good. If the tyres don't feel good, then you'll come in maybe a little bit earlier. And then to change tyres in the V8, you're changing tyres and getting fuel at the same time. So just to go in to change a set of tyres, you're looking roughly at about 17 to 20 litres of fuel.
Yep.
So if you stop for that, you're stopping just doing tyres and going. So yeah, you just got to weigh up how long you're going to sit still for the same time the whole time, but you just got to weigh up when you're going to sit longer and what effect it's going to have. So you got to be thinking of things such as whereabouts in traffic are you going to come out. You know, are you in a battle? Do you want to try and jump in front of these guys to get some clear air in front of them? Or you know, do you want to slot yourself, stop a bit longer, fill it up more, knowing that your next stop's going to be shorter, but slot yourself into a good group that you know you're going to get consistent lap time for the next third of the race. So yeah, there's a whole things you got to be thinking about.
Yeah, clearly not.
No, it's alright. Well, I've got poor old John trying to concentrate on his own race, and I'm there yelling, "How much fuel am I putting in?" Going.
Yeah, so I watched I've got a clear fuel on me, my button box, and in the first stop I had Friendy and Matt there, so I basically could see Matt in front of me, Darren behind me, so when they dropped, I dropped. I thought, right, yeah, I'm in sync with these guys. But then I fueled to end on the last one, because we roll around, we end up with like 17 litres too much. And I said to Wilbo, like, I need to think about that. Like, we're going to roll around for 2 laps. We don't need as much fuel and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real juggle. It's a real juggle.
Yeah, I think That's the biggest learning curve for me as well. Like, it's one thing to sort of be fast, but then there's all these other strategies that come into play. So I've probably been beaten twice now off strategies.
Of course.
It's all part of the fun though. It's all, it all makes it a bit more exciting.
Matty Munday, master tactician.
Yeah, that's why I'm never comfortable, especially when the safety car comes out, because I'm like, yeah, him and like Jeff, they're very switched on with that sort of stuff.
And with Matty, he's done a lot of enduro racing, done a lot of experience in that, where fuel and tyres and all those things become very critical in how you balance and calculate and work through it.
Yeah, for sure.
But probably one of the better things I've done is at a JRT. Now I use the auto fuel option on JRT and just have set for, like, you know, half a lap of excess fuel.
Yeah.
Scott Rankin, David Baldock wants me to shut up and let you do all the work.
If he wants the worst microphone in the world doing the commentary, absolutely, we can arrange something. I'll let him know my PayPal.
Is it Scott that's got the active pedals? I'd be asking him if they're worth the money.
It's not me. It's definitely not me.
I think it's Scotty Van Loon, I think, might be the one. There's a few people doing the active pedal thing at the moment.
Yeah, John Latham's got a set. And he'll tell you they're worth the money.
So this was the interesting one last night. I was surprised the safety car didn't go in at this stage. Anyway, another lap doesn't hurt. Gets those fuel numbers right into perfect position.
Yeah. I could have done a jerrycan with my third lap ever.
The only downside, the flames are no longer breathing out the back end of that thing.
Yeah, it kind of loses the novelty.
Secondary downside, it's still sitting the right way up, and Rob Baxter is still in the field, so... Rob, what the hell?
Too busy giving other people taps.
Well, if that's the case, Rob, should have become a plumber, mate. Should have become a plumber.
He went looking for eggs in turn one, that's all I'm going to say.
Russell, question for you. I see you weaving under the safety car. Isn't the whole point to keep the heat out of the tire?
Oh, I don't know, you tell me.
Yeah, I was surprised you were doing that. And a couple
what am I supposed to be doing?
Just cruising around behind the safety car with the clutch in, saving fuel.
So
I already knew I had a heap of fuel, so...
I've never had a pro in the world that drives a supercar ever weave behind a safety car in this thing.
Mm.
Yeah, right.
They all want to shed as much heat out of those tyres as they can, mate, so...
So why are they trying to get the heat out of the tyres?
Destroys them. iRacing tyre wear is directly related to
Tyre heat.
The two systems are tied together.
And performance is directly related to it. So if you overheat the tyres, you're going to be slow for the next lap.
Yeah, right.
A lot of the other cars have now got systems and bits and pieces added into them whereby having a cold tyre is a bad thing. The supercar does not have that problem. And
also, the race controls told you that the safety car's in this lap. So if you read the regs to the nth degree, it says you can't weave anymore.
Oh, you're all just right.
They're all weaving.
I'm straight to the front.
So what's that rule?
There is a rule in there that you can't weave once a safety car is coming in.
I thought it was when it pulls away from the field.
Yeah, around that stage. Before it pulls away from the field, I think it's when it says it's going to pull away. So when they say this is a lap they're going. And I think the other one is you got to be within 4 car lengths. So I can already see one there that's struggling a little bit. in the back there, where the player one cars are. I noticed.
That's my 7th race. These are all the little things I need to know.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to talk to you. I was going to talk to you about it, but since Scott brought it up.
No weaving. All right, noted.
This is a really, really good opportunity to actually talk about pacing and the safety car queue, and it's something that Pete and I were discussing just recently, actually. We see the IndyCar world, and the IndyCar world is where I'm the best at on iRacing, particularly on the ovals. It has single file restart queues with 40 cars in them. What happens is the longer that queue, the more checking up there is. If you want to be the safest pacer in the world, accelerate and slow down gradually. Do not accelerate. Whenever you see a hole in the queue form, don't accelerate hard, don't brake hard. It'll speed up a little bit, and brake early. And the other big thing, don't be looking at the car in front of you. Look several cars down
in
the
front.
line.
Yeah. Look for the checkup.
If you're watching and reacting to the car in front, it's too late.
Yeah.
And Brad Hayes has joined us. How are you, Brad?
Good, thanks. How's everyone?
Yeah, good.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, bro.
And Russ is gone early this week. Took you to the line last week, but gone already. And looks like caught Monday napping. Okay, big pack forming back here. Gonna go back.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a couple of guys on strategy here that have already made their second stop.
Everybody.
Oh, everybody's done.
Yeah, yeah. 20 laps to get home. So
that's a bummer.
not making it too interesting for us. And gonna drop back on to Phil Marsh. He's in a bit of a battle here with Steve Luckhurst. Marshy up 4 spots.
So give you guys a little bit of a strategy tip as well. And this is definitely something the pros use for sure. If you know that there is a track whereby there's going to be a high likelihood of a safety car, get your first stop done in. Not as soon as you can, but if you work out you want to run the race by thirds, so tonight let's have a look at 13, 13, 13. I'd be pitting somewhere around lap 8, lap 9 on my first stint. Then run a really long middle stint, and then get back to that third distance for the final stint. What it means is you've got the biggest opportunity to take advantage of safety cars.
And Baxter getting past Marsh through there.
So if there's a safety car early, like within the opening laps, where you always pit.
Yeah. Provided you can get rid of your compulsory pit stop. Check this out: 3 wide. Yeah, so it comes down to compulsory pit stop.
Yeah, well, obviously we've got 2 in this one, so.
Yeah, so basically what you want to happen is you want to get your first pit stop out of the way, so when that safety comes, you can just take it and run to the end. Whereas if somebody hasn't pit, all of a sudden you're a pit stop ahead of them. You don't have to pit again. You only pit again if you want to pit again.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah, well, Jeff proved that last week with how well that worked. Like last week I went smoking past him, and I thought, he passed him easy, and then he flogs us. I was like, okay, something went wrong there. Yeah, it was a big shot.
It also comes down to safety cars.
Yeah.
Basically, if you've only completed, if you haven't made a stop, and a safety car comes out, and somebody else has made a stop, and you can run home from there, well, you've got to make one more pit stop. They don't.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's basically what Jeff did, yeah.
Yeah, that's obviously last week you beat me on strategy, so.
Oh, look, it was a roll of the dice with that strategy too. Like you were the race leader at the time, which makes it a bit harder.
Yeah, I suppose we didn't get another safety car for the race, did we? So
Yeah, and if Monday stayed out, you went in. How much time are you going to lose coming back through the traffic? That's the concern you got to also weigh up.
yeah.
If you're expecting more safety cars on a track like, say, Belle Isle, where you're going to get 3 or 4, then yeah, you definitely would have gone in. But no, we didn't really expect any safety cars at Mugello. I guess was the
That's
catch.
just something in the back of your mind. Just gives you options, little bits and pieces you can do. And at the end of the day, the biggest thing I'd say to everyone as well, and I think Jeff Thomas and Travis Hunt did this very well in Top Split, try something different. Don't do what everyone else is doing.
Well, it was funny because like Worrell and I nose to tail, and we basically tossed a coin of who was going to pit and who wasn't, just to split the strategy for the team.
Just do something fun. Because particularly for you, Russ, getting in and learning, is the best way to learn is get out there and yap it up.
Yeah.
So if you get the strategy wrong, you go, all right, well, I'll take a 15th place tonight, but I've learned something. And I'd rather a 15th place if I've learned something on something I put in the book going forwards than winning every way,
Yeah.
Oh no, I actually am really enjoying that side of it all. Like it's a side I didn't really even know existed before I started doing it, so it's good.
See, I do a lot of oval racing, sort of my forte, but I don't get to drive anywhere near as much, but commentating so much. I love looking at the strategy, just looking at what people are doing. Not even, and tracking it, have a look at where did they end up out the other side. I love the chess game of it all.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the fastest driver wins. And that's the same with the real life V8 supercars and that, isn't it? All the time it comes down to strategy.
Yeah.
Look at NASCAR at the moment. Look at the Cup Series that's going on there with strategy calls.
Yeah, and Pato does make a good point as well that let's find the good man, that if you are racing on a track like we are this week, which is a 1 minute 20 lap, you got yourself in a situation where if you do go too early, you can put yourself a lap down with a blue flag. So, which then makes it a bit harder again when you got traffic trying to get past you.
Yes and no, because the other side of that coin is the field spread's larger later on. If you go reasonably early on a shorter track, and Sandown's a very, very good example of it, you sort of want to only get to about maybe 20 seconds off the lead at Sandown before you can't pit anymore. But then again, that's because it's over a minute. Whereas somewhere like here, you can extend that out to 40 seconds ish.
Oh, here's different. Here's different. I'm talking about Montague East, which is short.
Yeah, Montague, and the big critical factor about Montague as well is overtaking. Overtaking comes at a premium, whereas something like this, where you got the width, where you can actually go and race hard, and you're not in the grass. But Montague is one of those ones whereby the longer you wait to pit, if you go short and you short pit, likely you're going to stay on the lead lap. But if you wait, if you're in the middle to back of the pack and you wait to pit, you're definitely going to go a lap down. So, you sort of forced your hand a little bit in the other direction, whereby you have to come short pit.
Oh, Pato on the gas too early. Nothing to hit out there. He's all right.
So with all that information you've given out, Scott, I'm going to look forward to Split 3. I reckon they'll be all pitting in early next week.
Try it, do something different. If you're sitting in a position, what I'd say to everyone is, if you're all sitting in a position whereby you're qualified, you're stuck in the same spot you're in.
Oh, Sean Slater! In the wall.
He got turned. Absolutely turned. But yeah, tinker with your strategy. Do something different. And one of the big things that, again, Travis Hunt and Jeff Thomas are really, really good at is they add very little fuel at their first stop. And they are generally some of the quickest cars in that second stint of the race. They have sequence on strategy. Their strategy position's not great, but generally what they'll find is they'll buy themselves 3 or 4 spots.
Yeah.
because they've just got electric cars in the middle of the race, and then they'll just sit there and they'll defend.
But if that if that second stint goes a long time and then the safety car comes out, then they're in a box position.
Yeah. You know, it all changes. The biggest thing with a fixed setup, you actually only everyone sits there and says, "Well, I've only got one thing I can change," and that's incorrect. You do have two things you can change. One of them is your brake bias. The other one is the amount of fuel you put in the car. And it changes up the dynamic. And Scott Gamble said this very, very well the other week at Road America. He says all the pace in the car comes from the weight of the car. So, you know, you can fill it up, you can make it big and you can make it heavy, and she ain't going to stop quick. She ain't going to turn on a dime, and she's not going to pull out of the corners. So if you want a little bit of lap time, you can cut your way through. Lighter cars sometimes the way to go. And I can tell you that from NASCAR. One of the things I do in NASCAR is if I'm looking for a little bit of a balance change in the car, I'll add more or less fuel. Less fuel makes the car understeery, more tight. More fuel loosens the car up, rotates the car better. So that's another one of the little tinkerers. I can tell you that alone works.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about how fast Russell's going to be next week.
He's missing his MIA next week.
You don't have to worry about me next week, mate. I'll be jackhammering out a roundabout on in Parkdale while you guys are racing next week. So
I got another strategy call for you, Scott. A few weeks ago, I stepped on the proverbial in me qualifying and didn't get a time, and then passed 16 cars in the first 16 laps, but blundered in the pit stop, and I quickly realised that reversing in pit lane doesn't end real well.
No.
Well, I mean, that depends. Was the strategy to get an early night? Because if that's the case, then reversing the pit lane did very well.
Let's just say my partner in crime was laughing when I reversed back through him in pit lane, and he said, "What are you doing?" And then I said, "Getting myself disqualified because that's what happened," and I didn't realise. I don't know if I've ever done it before, but I did it, and I was.
I've seen.
You can reverse, but it's not very far. Yeah, so.
Seen plenty of guys do it. Seen plenty of guys go out and try and get a lap out of half a tank of fuel.
Well, I didn't have enough fuel to get around again, so I thought,
half a lap of fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, so the strategy was to hit the showers early. So well done. You pulled off the masterclass.
Yeah, that we've had some pretty valuable learning lessons in the first 7 weeks of our rookie season. So it's been good.
You're doing well.
Yeah. Certainly enjoyable though.
Oh, it's a fantastic run series. It's unreal to race, and there's lots of respect. It's good.
Definitely plenty of that.
Well, mate, I'll put it to you this way. Like when I first got the opportunity to commentate over here, I didn't want to do anything else on my Thursday nights for the rest of the year.
Yeah, cool.
And you do know the big name coming next season, Scott?
Mate, I thought Van Rey was already in the series.
No. We may have a new driver in Split 4 next season.
Tom Free is too quick for Split 3.
No, it's Jordan Ross. Jordan turns 40 next week.
Sorry, my apologies. Yep, I pulled out the wrong Synergy Racer. Yes, I did actually mean Jordan Ross. I actually did mean... He did tell me that, yep.
He's all excited about it. Somehow I don't think we'll see him in Split 4, but it will definitely make calling Split 1 a bit more interesting, I think.
I am very curious to see when the editorial section opens up for V8 Veterans.
Editorial section?
Yeah.
Dave Baldock already has his magazine out.
And a book.
That's right. Also, there's the Harry Cito autobiography.
You know, Dave Baldock, you want the centerfold in that magazine.
Yes, we introduced Russell to that one last night.
I've been mid-race and they're talking to you about friggin' hairy spice and boiled eggs up people's asses.
That's too much for Wilbo.
Were you talking to him in his ear as he was doing that? Or?
When you got when you got Worrell and Baldock, that's all I'm going to say.
As I said before, I actually don't want to go into a different split next year because half the fun is listening to you blokes.
Oh, dear.
But when you listen to them, you can sit in there and listen to them and race in a different split. But when you cause the wreck because you've pissed yourself laughing that hard, no one in the split has any idea what's going on.
Nah, it's good value, that's for sure.
We'll definitely try and keep it a little bit interesting.
Keep it interesting. I thought Baldock as an offer of a centre spread was the way to make it interesting.
Here we go, Gunter and Baxter.
Well, that's
A little bit wide there from Charlton.
Just kept the foot in the bucket.
Do you boys know that there's an opportunity to use tyre bundles around here? That was an option.
No, we didn't use him. And Gunter getting past Baxter. Look at that. He's got, Charlton in the background.
Oh. Our Red Bull car's been around a couple of times tonight by the look of it.
Yep. A bit happening all over the place. So Russ is out to a 9-second lead at the moment. Matty Munday sitting in second. It looks like he's got it fairly well under control, the group lining up behind him. So, Brad Hayes, what do you think at this stage, Brad?
Not kill my tyres. I was right for fuel. I filled up more than enough, especially the first stop. That was the idea, to put as much as I can in and cut my second stop down, but then just not kill my tyres in the biggest stint. So
Yeah.
I was watching Matty get a little bit loose and a couple lock-ups here and there, and trying not to rub my hands together too much, thinking this could work into my favour a little bit with a bit of pressure on him. But
And Darren here having it tucked in behind as well. Like, of course, Darren showing some good pace around here tonight, so as we trickle down, of course. Only 9 laps to go.
A little bit of lore and backstory on the Baxter brothers as well. Rob is known as the better-looking Baxter. I've seen one half of that coupling at the moment, and if Rob ever makes his way down to Grafton and comes and says hi, I'll finally be able to say which of the two is the better-looking Baxter.
Oh, he tells me so. Lay down Mazaire. There's no debate.
I've seen photos, and I think there's some debate.
Friendy, right in the thick of it here.
Yeah, I can feel things are about to heat up, I reckon, with these boys.
It's coming. It's coming. Bit of smoke there.
50-cent pieces.
And of course, just for anyone who hasn't raced at Nords before, wait till you see Gunter at Nords.
Wait, you're supposed to see him when he's driving around that quick?
Friendy, no. Had a great race, mate, up to this stage. That is a shocker. Luke Ullman, yes, quite a few people did answer that question there. There's a back to Matty Munday. He's back in the thick of it as well. Still under a lot of pressure from Hayes. a fun story of where Gunter came from. It was the one and only time we raced at Nords, and we had a Scott Van Loon in his first season, in his third or fourth race on pole. As nervous as hell. I think Scott still is a nervous racer. As nervous as hell. And then Dave Worrell Josh Jage was our race control, and Josh and I always had the no cash here joke. So we were sitting on the grid in the 3 minutes waiting, and I've said something to Josh, and I come back with no cash here, and all of a sudden Gunter just pipes up, or Dave Worrell just pipes up in a German sex pest accent. And
That's where it started, was it?
that's where it started. So Scotty Van Loon, absolutely laughing his head off, missed the start, sitting on the grid as pole position. Everyone just drove past him. He was too busy laughing.
Good news, he was no longer nervous.
So yeah, so without talking to Dave, I'd guarantee that split 4, if that's where he still is, split 4 or split 3, wherever Dave is, will be the Gunter Cup, the second running of the Gunter Cup, which the first running we did last year at Belle Isle, which was won by my favourite Western Australian, Ed Cullen. And yeah, I think the Gunter Cup will probably come out to play again next season. So, but for the split 3,
just quickly on
yeah, go
the
Scotty.
Gunter Cup, is it firmly located somewhere between Struggle Street and Wobble Avenue?
No, it's pride and place on the wall at Ed Cullen's place.
Yeah, so definitely on Struggle Street then.
I think Mark, you raced in that race. Out of memory.
I did. Yeah.
You came second, actually.
Yeah, I don't remember the position, but yeah. No one remembers who comes second. So.
Boise.
Wilco again?
What's that?
Because Wilco's in a bit of a 3-car battle. I thought I saw just a few moments ago.
Boise's just trying to work his way. No, Wilco's got a little bit of space around him. Boise just trying to get his way around Bulldog. What can go wrong here?
Would be just having the sympathy sheepdog now.
Oh, you would be, yep, down straight.
Good drop, that sheepdog. Good drop.
Very good drop. And Dave's going to hold him out here. Oh, no, Boise's up the inside. Dave's played it smart. Jump back on with Wilco. He's just chasing Slater in front of him. Matty Beale a bit further back.
I do feel bad for Wilco from time to time. He tends to drive better when his mouth's shut. Hasn't quite worked out the art of flapping gums and going fast at the same time.
Oh, look, the vet segment on his podcast is sensational. Like, it is. Yeah, I listen to that, and he's talking about how stressed and nervous and tough, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, it is pixels on a screen, but Jesus, when we come to play on Thursday night, we come to play.
Oh yeah, it's amazing how nervous you can get.
Right, lap 34.
Saying that, people at work really get sick of me talking about it, so they know on a Friday morning to say, how'd you go last night? I'm like, yeah. But if you're not into it, you've actually got no idea how involved it is. Like, all I say, I'll say to people like, oh, you got pit limiters. Oh, why you got pit limiters? Like, I'm like, yeah, you got no idea how involved this thing is.
He's putting a move on Monday.
Oh, nice move.
Nice, Brad. Nice.
Great move.
Very nice.
Not done yet.
Not done yet.
And now Brad's going to sit and shit himself for the next 5 laps.
Yeah.
That was probably a workup of about 3 to 4 laps planning.
And you made it stick, which is good.
Yeah, and then just after, just try and get away, don't let him get back.
Isn't it funny how it works, isn't it? You're in front, your nerves. You get behind, you can just stay there.
Oh,
Yeah, sitting behind him, I wasn't concerned at all. I was fine, calm. And as soon as I overtook him, it was that nervous shit. Don't make a mistake. Don't make a mistake.
Keep looking in the rearview mirror and see the rest.
he's not far from you. He's watching closely.
Yeah, Ross and I got a bit going here 2 weeks, so I started to catch up to you two with you, Brad.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I had put that last bit of, okay, I got to try and get around Ross.
Yeah, so Schaefer and Watson not too far behind as well. That means he's back to 5th at this stage.
Three-way battle for 9th again.
Yeah. Battles everywhere at the moment. The JT, Slater, Wilco. Just going to come back up on Monday. He's now putting the pressure back on Hayes. He's having a look.
Is that the guy who finally learned about blue flags there getting lapped?
Could be.
He was creating a fair bit of a ruckus earlier in the race, I saw.
Yeah, tough track.
What's the verdict, everyone? We think we're finally getting that Gen 3 chassis?
Well, a certain Jared Philsell said he'd put a pineapple on it, so... It's not that.
I think it's worth it. I think that's, yeah.
And I think if someone would have half an idea with his contacts, it'd be Jared. So
This year, you think?
yeah. Oh, Matty, on your own. That is costly, and that could be costly for the championship. And the tyres are not good. We're
Another go.
talking about overheating those tyres. There's an example of what it's like. That hurts. That puts Whiting up on the back of him, and Holly, and Sanford. Sorry.
Did somebody open the centerfold of the magazine in front of him?
Someone's opened something.
Even the fast guys make mistakes, eh?
Yep.
Except Russell.
He makes funny.
Yeah.
So the benefit of being that far out in front is no one pays enough attention to see them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not right, is it?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Sanford on Whiting.
Yeah.
Around
This
the
is good, I like
outside.
this.
Hang
I tried
tough.
this twice.
Hang tough. Whiting's going to hang on.
I think Eminem's looking for trailer park girls right back.
Thinks he's at the speedway.
U'Ren, Hayes, Watson, Schaefer, Munday, Whiting, Sanford round out our top 7 with only a handful of laps to go.
When the Gen 3s come out, will they have the same tyre model as these, or will they be
No,
different?
it'd be different time model. Oh, hang on to it.
Rain.
Yep.
That's going to be fun for Jamie, trying to set up cars he's never driven before.
Yeah, he's looking forward to it. No, I'm sure he'll get plenty of help from a few people who work with him, so...
There'll be a few fucks thrown around, there'll be a few screw this, I'm done, I'm not coming back, I'm not racing again, and then he'll show up with a swag full of setups.
You know, at the end of the day, though, everyone's on the same setup, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's the way you got to look at it.
You adapt to what the setup is, I guess.
Oh, hang on to it. Woohoo!
Except Phil.
I reckon Phil had his arm on the windowsill there. One hand.
Safety first.
He's right off in his mouth.
And Pato just get past Gunter. And where are we up to? So that's another one dropping back out of that lead group. So that lead group now is U'Ren, Hayes, Watson, Schaefer. So the podium not quite decided. Only looking at a second between Watson and Schaefer.
And just quietly, if Ross is listening, I'm sorry I just put the mocker on you in about the next 10 to 20 seconds. I've gone the full commentator's curse. If these guys just get together and wreck, I'll get a podium here.
That's what you're thinking at this stage?
No, I said it on Discord to Glenn, and the next thing you know, it happened. Got in the third.
That's really nasty thoughts.
I know. The mental energy was out. I'd run out of energy. I was hoping for anything.
Bad jujus for next week.
No. I redeemed myself from spinning out in front of 35 people there 2 weeks ago and crashing 20 guys and causing a safety car. So.
Oh. That's all right. We've seen Baldock do that at Road America, so puts you in good company.
Oh, poor Baldock.
That's where I did it. Road America up underneath the stinking bridge there on the left-hander. Just lost it. And then got a drive-through for wrecking everybody. I was like, oh, God.
Sorry for what is about to happen. Nothing's going to happen, Ross. I'm sitting on you because you're in P3. You're chasing down P2. Nothing's going to happen.
Sorry, Ross. I really am.
I actually haven't seen this, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's the next
You stand up.
The next lap.
You tell us to point the camera at him. mate, if anyone's going to fuck it up on live TV, we are going to be there with popcorn.
My mate Wilbur, he's just started watching from the start, and I just messaged him and said, mate, they got your spin live, pal.
A fair bit of effort goes in to get the spin live.
Oh, gee, Ross doing really well. That's his new fastest lap of the race. Jeez, he's having a cracker.
Is that?
Ross just said his fastest lap of the race.
152.9.
Yeah, he's doing great. He must be on the podium.
Same pace as Schaefer behind him. So equal lap time.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I got into the 52s at the end. Yeah, let's go.
Pulling away from Munday.
Look at this. Yeah, Brad's got the jitters. You can see he's got the shakes on.
Yeah, under a lot of pressure here from Watson. Watson has a bit of a look. This is getting racy. This is the penultimate lap. If you're going to get the job done, you've got to get it done in a hurry. P2's beckoning.
Brad's not saying a thing. He's actually getting nervous all over again.
I've actually seen this, and this is good.
I saw it clear as day. It's great.
It's definitely getting very concerned as Ross is closing in.
Yes, go boys. Play nice, not.
And we have 17 turns to go. U'Ren 15 seconds in the lead from these boys here, battling for the remainder of the podium.
You're a fair way back too, Ross.
Oh!
Oh no!
No!
And I can say my heart rate jumped 100.
Yours, I didn't even see it coming. I only knew about it when I got hit. And then I had to try and hold the slide.
You did well to straighten it up.
Yeah.
Did you break early, Brad? Jesus.
No, I was breaking them on
Yeah.
That could have ended in tears for both of you.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought I'm going to second. And then he saved it. I thought,
I think Ross had 2 goes at the brake pedal. He put his foot back down. Res started climbing again.
I was concerned. Did I heat the tyres up trying to catch that? And is Dan now going to get me because of that?
well, if you jumped into my brain after 3 weeks ago, I was in fourth on the last lap and lost it and dropped back a spot behind Glen. And my mate's spotted me going, fifth's good, just finish. So I went, I'm finished in third. I'm not going to hit Brad, I'm just going to follow him around. I just went, yeah, that'll do me.
A little bit of traffic as well.
Yeah, that made me nervous actually.
Oh, how bad's traffic? I always get nervous around it.
And
Who's this guy?
oh no, I haven't seen much of him all night.
Yeah, no, he's done nothing all night.
I just kept thinking of Top Gun. Where'd who go? Who's gone?
Now the
And
final corner. On the run to the line.
and
Big old W for U'Ren.
Good job, Russ.
Russell crossed the line. Jump back here.
Just don't show me burnout. I smashed into the wall twice.
And
I was like, I'm escaping.
Hazy going to come through into P2. Daniel Schaefer behind will take P3. That's our podium. Matty Munday salvages P4. Only just in front of Jeff Sanford. Great recovery from him, up 5 spots. Ross Watson will finish 6th. So not too much damage done there. And then Phil Whiting comes home in 7th, up 5 spots. Up 8 spots, Dave Holly. Sean Slater runs across the line with him in 9th. Wilco ends up in the top 10, down 7 spots. JT up 9 spots in 11th. Matty Beale, he's got the job done, up 13 into 12th. Then we had Mills. Boise didn't gain back the 12 spots that he lost at the start. Ended up in 14th, so that was a bad night for Glenn. Wilbo ended up in 15th. Baldock, another good performance from him, finishing in the 16th, up 6 spots.
Don't say that.
And Shane Patterson finishing just behind him. Pato in 17th, down 12. Darren Friend ended up down 9 in 18th. Tim Hall ended up down 4 in 19th. And Greg Shelton rounded out our top 20. So pretty tough night for quite a few guys in our championship order there. But it was.
Did he get a drive through or something? Did he? Because he was right up the front.
He hit the wall, so I think he might have had some damage from that. So that might have made it. He lost his front bumper and everything else. So I think he might have had to get a meatball and go in and fix that. That's what I'd probably say has happened there.
Can we give driver of the day to Ross for that incredible knocking yourself off the podium?
Well,
It's immortalised.
I think we've seen Hazy on the podium before. We haven't seen Daniel on the podium. I think that's your first one, Daniel.
Yeah.
So in
Pretty
P3,
excited about that too.
in P3, mate, on the podium. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, not just me racing partner, Glenn. He makes it good fun and probably, we have a good laugh and enjoy it. Good to switch off and go racing with a good bunch of guys. And to be honest, we're really enjoying the group that we race with and how you just run it all. It's good.
Too easy. And Hazy, yourself, mate, P2, you'd be pretty happy with that. I think that's your highest finish. I think you've been on the podium before out of memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, massive shout out to Pagnan Advanced Simulation, Next Level Racing, Dubby, Fanatec, Dump Grinding, Central Coast, Razor, and Chubby Bun Burgers. The Split 4 race control, anyone that arranges all the stuff behind the scenes of V8 Veterans, and a massive shout out to the Team Apex boys and girls. DK, Rushworth, Andrew Rushworth's been a massive help to me over the last couple of weeks, and since I pretty much joined the team and getting a handle on the supercar and so on and helping me out. So yeah, really appreciate it.
That's too easy. And Mr. U'Ren, this is your 3rd victory for the season now. You've sort of come back after your trip and gone bang, bang. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, after round 1, I joined you boys at Wodonga Carts and Parts, and it's probably been the best thing for me. So also like to thank Chubby Buns, Super Cheap Auto, Rebel Sports, BCF, Magpack, Pool Guys Adelaide, Barella Cabinets, LCG Images, Dave 37 Racing, my main man, War Boys Motorsport, Send It Don't Bend It, AMP Air, and obviously all the race control and all the people that put in their own time so we can do this. It's an amazing league, and like since joining it, I just can't believe how professional it is, and it's so much fun.
Rask, one criticism there, mate. The Split 4 team is actually known as Wodonga Parts 4 Carts. They don't have enough carts put together to call them carts.
Excuse me, the Australian distributors are Croc Promotion carts now.
Yeah, not when you guys are driving them.
Honestly, no. Being part of the team has added a level of enjoyment that wasn't there before. So it's great fun.
Okay, so time to move on to the one and only main job as well, which is our drive of the day. Now, I'm going to nominate Daniel Sheriff. I think he's been knocking on the door for a while, gets himself on the podium in P4. I think that's a fair effort, to say the least.
Yep, I agree.
Yep, I'll go with that.
Go with that?
Oh, why not?
And especially in a new track too.
Yep. Oh, I think we'll do that.
Tough one to learn.
Helps if I click the right car before he hits the wall.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, guys.
don't say me smashing the wall.
Yeah, no, you got to do that.
We'll go back to here and zoom in. Let's let that play for a second. And while I type this out.
Oh, I've stuffed it up. Watch this. Hang on a second. Let's drive around everybody. And this one as well.
And this one as well.
Yeah.
There we go. I can slow that down now. So congratulations, Daniel, on the Chubby Buns drive of the day, mate.
Thank you very much. Thanks again to RaceKraft. We appreciate the effort on teaching us how to put the banner on as well. We're struggling there.
Too easy.
Challenged.
No, that's all right. Let's have a quick look at how that plays out for our championship now after tonight's results. So this is now with 2 drop rounds. Someone's handed me the keys to Sim Racer Hub, and I've worked out how to make it 2 drop rounds for us. And put the results in for today. So Russell U'Ren 916 is leading Matty Munday on 871 by 45 points. Glen Boyce is only 21 points behind Munday. So, of course, with 2 drops this week was a drop round for Glen. Jeff Sanford doing really well. He's only 2 points behind the podium. Van Ree is 15 points behind the podium. Bill Whiting is 16 points behind the podium. And then when we sort of start looking at the top 5, you got Shane Patterson 9 points behind the top 5. So it really, and then 12 points Dave Holly, and then you're talking 20 points back to Bill. So that whole top 10 for those top 5 positions in the podium in particular is going to be a really exciting battle over what is our last 3 rounds, of course, with Montague East at night being the track we're going to race at this week. And then next week we head off to Algarve, and then we finish the season off with the non-drop round at the one and only Bathurst. So this season coming to an end very quickly. And on that note, if you haven't put your entries in already, please do so. You've got another week, or basically another 2 weeks, a week and a half, 10 days to get your entries in for next season. Filling up fast, so make sure you do get your entry in. All the details are in the Discord channel. If you want to be on the wait list, make sure you let us know that as well and get your details in there now. We're starting to finalise how that's all looking with a few returning drivers, returning and not returning. And as we said, we've got a few interesting names already coming back like Jordan Ross next season. Next comment I'm going to make is to do with race control. We have a few guys stepping back in from race control back into racing next season. So if anyone's looking for a season doing something different or would like a break from racing, sing out. We can hook you up with someone in the team, get you involved in race control for something a bit different, see it from the other side. It's quite surprising when you see it from the other side that you start to realise a few things that you do yourself that you're probably annoying other people with. There's some things to be thinking about as well. And as I wind this one up, just a huge thank you, of course, again to our race control for split 4, Blanchy, Luke and Lucas. And then also this race control we've got for all the other teams. Sorry for the other splits. I'd like to thank again our committee, those guys do tireless work in behind the scenes. We haven't seen much of Carl Pickering the last couple of weeks as he's been out working again in the mines, but Carl does a fantastic job with our social media. We've got Reg that does a bloody awesome job with doing all of our graphics, and we do have new league shirts in the process that we'll hopefully be letting everybody know about shortly, which are being done by LCG Images. We've got a lot of stubby holders too that I've got off Luke Holland, so if anyone wants a stubby holder to sing out, I can organise one of them as well. Where was I going? And of course, the rest of the guys in our committee, and been a busy week in the behind the scenes, not going into detail, but Scotty Van Loon does a fair bit of work as well as my fellow manager of the league. So huge thank you to Scotty. It takes an army to run a village, and I think the league's in good shape. If Gen 3 come next year, boys, I think we're going to have some fun. Next season, sorry. And of course, a huge thank you to everybody out in the chat that have watched and contributed, got involved. I think we've seen some pretty exciting racing tonight, which was quite enjoyable. These guys definitely turn it on every week. Huge thank you as well to Brad Hayes, Daniel Schaefer, Mark Dial, Russell U'Ren, and the one and only Scott Rankin coming in and joining us in the combox. Thanks, boys.
Yeah,
Mate,
you're welcome,
I'm
mate.
sitting in the
No worries,
hotel room. I've had a beer. What a night.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Loved it.
I
I
just
was looking forward to it.
I just wanted to make sure, how do I cash in this check for the, you told me if I win, I get some free coaching sessions with Scotty Rankin?
I wouldn't be cashing that check, mate. I would not be cashing that check.
I was made of rubber, so I wasn't expecting a lot, but,
I heard it was going to the driver of the day.
if I've already seen your valuable insights, so I'm sure the team captain will be able to tee something, the team leader will be able to tee something up for me.
And
I'm talking a lot of smack, so I can coach you on talking smack, so we can have a chat.
and any truth to the rumour you're making your Scots debut this weekend, Russ?
There is a bit of a rumour to that, but I think it's going to be the minimal laps and then watching, but that's okay.
You joining the Stuart, are you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but
That's how endurance racing starts for the bulk of us, brother. So wishing you all the best.
I'm going into the deep end, that's for sure. So hopefully the minimal laps is one lap.
Not sure what they run, but it'll be 54.
Well, to be honest, I didn't nominate. I got a message from saying, John Van Ree has said you might be interested in doing it. I said, okay, yep.
That'll be good. Anyway, on that note, we might wrap up the broadcast. We will be here again next Friday, of course, for the one and only Split 4 from Montague East, the night race. So everybody please see medical professional assistance provider racing, particularly if you're a wanker. But thank you for that again, Mr. Peck.
An epileptic wanker, that's even better.
And anyway, on that note, we'll see everybody again next week. Thanks for watching.
Thanks,
Thanks, John.
See you later. Thanks, boys.
Introducing the RaceKraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator. down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.